So, you've probably heard the hype, right? That AI is going to totally revolutionize programming, make coding easy for everyone, and maybe even replace developers completely. But while the hype is absolutely massive, the reality is proving to be a lot more complicated.
I mean, the vision is pretty huge. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang dropped this bombshell, basically saying AI has made software development a skill anyone can have. The miracle of artificial intelligence, as he put it. And it didn't stop there. The CEO of Stability AI took it a step further, predicting the actual extinction of human programmers. I mean, wow, a truly wild prediction. Okay, so these are massive, industry-shaking claims. But what happens when we look past all the headlines and actually dig into the code itself? Is AI really living up to this incredible vision?
So, let's start right there. Are we really seeing the end of programmers? We're going to examine these huge claims and see if they actually hold up.
All right, let's look at what the research says, because it turns out when you analyze millions of lines of AI-generated code, you find that more code, well, it often just means more problems. Some pretty clear and frankly concerning patterns start to show up.
Get this. An up-level study of over 800 developers using tools like GitHub Copilot found something pretty staggering. Instead of making code better, AI assistance led to a 41% increase in bugs. And more bugs just means more time spent debugging, which can totally wipe out any speed gains you thought you had.
And it's not just about bugs. On top of that, a study from GetClear found that code written by AI has a nearly 40% higher churn rate. Now, churn is just a fancy word for code that gets rewritten or deleted almost immediately. It's essentially disposable, throwaway work. And this chart really tells the whole story, doesn't it? That huge jump for AI-generated code isn't a sign of efficiency. No way. It's a sign of wasted effort. Think about it. That means nearly 40 cents of every dollar you spend on a developer's time using AI is just being thrown away on code that doesn't even last. And the problems just keep piling up. AI also tends to create way more duplicated code, which just clutters up your code base and makes everything a nightmare to maintain. It all adds up to unstable, bloated software that ultimately creates more work, not less. Not exactly the revolution we were promised, is it? This brings us to our third big problem, and honestly, it might be the most serious one of all. The issue isn't just about messy code or being inefficient. It gets way more dangerous when we start talking about the false sense of security AI can create.
Researchers at Stanford University uncovered a really troubling paradox. They found that developers who used an AI assistant actually produced code with significantly more security vulnerabilities than those who didn't. And this is where the real danger is. The developers using AI didn't just write buggier code. They were also more confident that their code was secure. The AI-generated code looks right, you know? It gives developers this false confidence, which leads them to trust and deploy insecure work. And this matters immensely. In high-stakes fields like healthcare, finance, or critical infrastructure, a single security flaw born from this false confidence isn't just a bug, it can be an absolute catastrophe. So with all these issues, more bugs, higher churn, and these critical security flaws, you've got to be wondering, what is AI actually good for? It's really easy to look at all this data and think we should just write off these tools entirely. But is that the right conclusion? The answer is a clear and simple no. The problem isn't the technology, it's how we're thinking about it. AI isn't a replacement for a developer, it's a tool in their belt. You know, the best analogy I've heard is a spell checker. A spell checker is great. It makes a good writer faster and more efficient. It catches typos. But it's never going to turn a bad writer into a great one because it doesn't understand structure, narrative, or the why behind the words. AI is the same for code. And here is where that tool truly shines. It's fantastic for handling all the tedious, repetitive work that nobody wants to do, generating boilerplate code, translating syntax between languages, or spinning up a quick prototype. It frees up the developer to focus on the hard stuff, architecture, logic, and solving real business problems. So this brings us to the most important takeaway from all of this. How do you, as a developer or someone who manages them, adapt and thrive in this new reality? Let's be crystal clear about the fear that started this whole conversation. The predictions of mass replacement were just wrong. You are not going to lose your job to an AI. But, and this is the critical distinction, The threat isn't the technology itself. The threat is falling behind. You will lose your job to another developer who understands the fundamentals deeply enough to use AI as a massive force multiplier for their own skills. Your value isn't just in typing syntax anymore. It's in your deep understanding of programming principles. It's knowing why you're writing the code, so you can validate what the AI produces. It's the ability to craft clean, secure, and maintainable software, using AI as a powerful assistant, not a blind guide.
And that's the question to leave you with. The future isn't about being replaced, it's about leveling up. So are you focusing on the core skills that will allow you to not just survive, but to direct these powerful new tools and absolutely thrive?